How's it going? It's Ethan here with eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install these Titan chain V-bar ladder style tire chains on our 2022 Toyota RAV4. These are going to be pretty aggressive tire chains. They're definitely not for your typical use. The V-bar style is going to be better at digging into ice and deeper snow, so keep that in mind as we go forward. As I mentioned, these V-bars are on each link as it goes across. They themselves are built to dig into that ice and snow. The links themselves are twisted, which also gives you a better grip and more traction under the ice. It's a ladder pattern tire chain. In general, better for starting and stopping. Not as great for turning or a smoother ride. But if you're getting chains this aggressive, smoothness probably isn't something that's a concern for you. The chains are made of a low carbon steel, which is not going to be as durable or weather resistant as, say, a manganese nickel alloy might be. But in the case of our V-bars, it's probably best that that is the case, because it's going to give you a little bit more flexibility on these V-bar actual points, because those become breaking points. They do come two in a set in this pretty light canvas bag, and especially for the V-bar style chains, a lot of these bags that we test have already had holes poking through them. So we definitely recommend grabbing some sort of plastic tote or something stronger to keep these in and keep the weather out. But overall, like I mentioned, they were relatively easy to install. Not any cams or anything to tighten, so you can check out how we did that now. To start, the first thing we want to do is lay our chains out flat, making sure that nothing is tangled or tied together. Additionally, you want to make sure that this hook is facing you, because you'll have to access that later. A good rule of thumb is to make sure that these links at the end of each chain have the flat side facing down and these hooks facing up. This is the flat side is going to make contact with your tire. But with V-bar chains like these, it's pretty obvious to see that these are going to be the side that's going to be facing out. Obviously, you don't want them spiking into your tire. You want to center the chains out as much as you can, just to make the install process even easier. Once we do that, we'll grab these back links, fit them over our tire, and space things out as evenly as we can throughout, both around the back and around the sides. And once we do that, we can make our first connection on the back side. The connection in the back is pretty straightforward. You have this hook on the side and loose links on this side. We're going to go for the second link in our case, but we can always come back and adjust that if we need to. Now we've made our connection in the back. We'll feed this lever through. We'll try the second link here, and then we will torque it back and fit it into this loose link on the other side. Because these chains don't have any sort of self-tensioning built in, although they are pretty tight, we recommend grabbing one of these rubber tensioners as well to make sure that as you're moving along and bumping over snow and ice, as the chains shift, this tensioner will help keep them secure. Just install them in a similar way as you would put a tire on or take it off, in sort of a star pattern, trying to make sure that you get it distributed evenly, like that. Once you have that all figured out, you can go ahead and install it on the passenger side as well. Make sure you roll forward or backwards just a couple times to make sure that everything's secure where you want it, and you're ready to go. Overall, these chains are aggressive. They're definitely not going to be your typical use light snow tire chains. They're going to be more for that heavier ice and snow. So if you need something like that, maybe check out some of Koenig's diamond pattern style chains if you need sort of a more often used chain. In general, I think they were a solid fit and not too terrible to install on a 2022 Toyota RAV4.